Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today is part one of my April Junk Journal Madness journal. Today is, let's see, April the 12th, and I am just making my journal cover, which is kind of late for me. But I've been so focused on other projects that this one has been milling over in my mind, and uh, today is the day. All right, so we're going to get started. I actually just filmed a video so I could empty this crafty haul here, so I could use this envelope because I think that's what I want to do for this journal to make it kind of a soft. This is such a nice envelope. It is like an 11, no, a 14 by like 15. Is that right? No, 11 by 14, like an 11 by 14 envelope, which is a little bit bigger because mine are usually 9 by 6. So I think I'm going to trim off some here. Let's use this big ruler. I wish I had more room. This is hanging off and hitting me in the belly right now. Okay, so let's line this up. So while I'm doing this, let's kind of backtrack. If you're new here, welcome. I host a series called Junk Journal Madness every month. And I usually have a guest collaborator, and the guest collaborator sends me themes, up to six themes. And we spin a wheel and a theme is selected, and then we make a journal with that theme, and then we use we have a requirement on the minimum number of materials to use. They have to be different. Like I rolled a 7, I forgot what I rolled, an 8 I think. You have to use 8 different materials, and then we roll another die for the minimum number of different makes. And I have lists of suggestions, but if you are just using, that number of things and they're all different, or making that many different things, then you're good to go. But I do have a list. They're in the description below. It's a Google Doc. It's also a freebie in my coffee shop, which is also linked below. And, those are just for guidance if you need some help with that. Okay, so I want to trim this down a little bit. It is padded. I didn't tell you who my guest collaborator was. So this month it is Jen from Scrapbooks and Memories, and her channel is linked below. So let's go check her out. She has started on hers. I've got Gwen the Trash Witch is participating, Maggie from My Scattered Brain, Trish from Crafting Whimsy, Esta Miller on Instagram, Tammy from Lou Frou Frou Studios. I know I'm forgetting people. Maybe by the end of the video I'll remember. And I'll have everybody linked in my description. I also have a playlist of all the participants. So even if I forget who at the moment is participating, I do when I see their videos. Make sure you tag me at I Totally Love It. Make sure you use the at. If you use hashtag, I won't see it. But hashtag JJ Madness is the hashtag. And when I see their videos, even if I haven't had a chance to watch them, when I see them, I try to add them to that playlist. So go check out that playlist. It's called JJ Madness Participants 2025. All right, I'm going to use my rotary cutter here. I am going to make this 12.5 inches. That'll make 6.25. Why don't we go, if I go 13, that makes them 6.5. Let's do that. Okay, and I'm just going to see if this, you can use a craft knife if you want to, but I love this handy dandy little tool here. So I'm going to trim that off. Don't need that. Maybe you have a project, you can turn that into a belly band or something, I guess. All right, so now this is going to go. Yeah. guess I should close that. Okay, so now we are down to like 6.5 inches. Okay. It is kind of tall. Now, if you want to do like a traveling notebook style, you could leave it tall and probably maybe trim a little bit more off of this, but I don't want it this tall. So, let's open it this way. It's lined up on 3. I want it to go to, can't see the numbers. Let's go this way, maybe. Get in the corner. It's not going to help me either. I need to go this way. All right, I lined it up on 4. I want it to be 9 inches tall, so I need to cut it 13. And I'm just going to pray that this is all nice and straight. And it's going to be a slight problem because I won't be able to get here towards the end, towards me. But let's see if I can get most of it. I have a craft mat under this end. I don't think you can see the table. All right, so let's cut that. So I hope everybody's doing all right. If you're participating, let me know. If I forgot to mention you and you're not in the description, I don't mention you at the end, let me know. I have people on Instagram that help that participate, and I have a Facebook group and there's people in there participating. So that's a great place to share your creation. Okay, so now I have my journal size. So it is folded at 6.5 and it is 9 inches tall. And I am going to cover it with fabric. So the theme is roses and neutrals. I'm not doing very good at telling you all the details. The theme is roses and neutrals. So anything with roses, and then throw in a bunch of neutrals. So it doesn't have to be just neutrals with some colorful roses. It is what you want it to be. So I was digging through my fabric because I want to cover this with fabric. And anyways, I think I might end up using this material. But maybe this side. So this was a, I used to get some of the subscription kits from a House of Books. They have a lot of vintage ephemera. And when they would send you a large subscription kit, it came in this like fabric bag that they would kind of sew up like a fabric envelope. And so if you watched my February Junk Journal Madness journal that I made, it was like a plaid, like a tannish gold plaid. That was one of these bags. And so I found this fabric and I thought I might use it. This, I was asking my husband, what is this material? And it's almost like outdoor furniture material, I guess. Like it's maybe repellent, or even like a bag that you would, take to the beach, or something kind of water repellent, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And I thought maybe I would do this. Then here, let me move some tools out of my way. And then I've pulled out all these little doilies that I've purchased. That would be fun, but that's bigger than the journal. So if I kept that envelope the way it was, maybe I could have used that. What about this one? And then that could be on the, like when you fold it like this. This is awkward here because I haven't cut this fabric yet. Yeah, and you're not going to see this envelope at all. Do like that. What else? That. I'm not completely sold on this fabric, so but I wanted to share that with you. I am going to go dig one more time before I commit. I could even just scratch this whole video if you're not even seeing this, and I could just use scrapbook paper and make a single signature, and that makes it easy. But I like to try to do different things, not always stick with the same. I will end up sewing this. I think I'd have to glue this since I had to trim the edge. Not the ideal envelope to use as far as size wise, because I had to trim off not only the ends but a part of the top. So if you can get your hands like on a 9 by 14 or 9 by 13, like a casserole dish size envelope, that's more ideal because it's already got the 9 inches. So, all right, I'm gonna go have another dig and I'll be right back. Okay, it's been like an hour since I've stopped recording. I found these 2 fat quarters. This was in a little bundle bunch that you get like a Hobby Lobby. You get like 4 fat quarters, and I looked at those and it's got roses on it, but they're, I guess, like that's the problem with the first fabric. It's too colorful. It's like I need it to be more neutral. So I found this, and this was a fabric sample that was sent with a subscription kit that I've, house of books. So I think I'm gonna go with that. And I think I'm gonna cut it exactly. I'm gonna put it down here and maybe just have it hanging a little bit extra. Since these are more muted tones. But then what are we gonna put on the inside of the cover is the next question. Do I prefer it that way? Let's see. With the stripes going up and down. And the pink in the middle. That. What if I just did the whole thing like that? That's just the whole thing. You just keep all of it. I think that would work because I mean, I don't foresee having to use this fabric for anything else. And I actually have another piece, and I have one that doesn't have like the pinky tones in it. I think this is what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be a single signature journal. Okay, so in the past, when I've done an envelope, I don't think I've done a padded envelope. Maybe I have. I don't remember. I know I've done like a flat mailer. I've put batting on there. I think that's what it's called. That little cottony layer. I don't think this needs it because this has padding in it. So that was glued, and then this was glued to that. I think. Thinking this through out loud. What if I trim just a little bit more off. Or does that really matter? I don't think it really matters. I feel like it might matter in the course of the, you know, the top and bottom. Down there. Okay, let me trim a little bit more off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just sew it. So I'll be back after I do that. All right, you guys, I did it. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not, you know, an everyday sewer, seamstress, and I did the little zigzag stitch. Now I used pink thread, which you really can't tell because it was so pale. Now I guess it's this side. And my bobbin, I had one that had cream color or like off white, and so you know you really can't tell because I don't like threading the bobbin, and all my bobbins were full, so pull that off. But I did make it all the way around. I did tie off up here. I did some back stitching on some corners. And it tends to want to have a natural fold here, so I think that's what we'll do. Now, if you wanted to add, like, sew in a pocket, that would have been the time to do it, or some lace. But I'm gonna just, do like a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and I don't think this one will have a pocket on it. As far as a journal cover, I'm not quite sure. I have some things coming in a haul, so maybe when they get here, they will work. Yeah, so there's my cover. Recycled the packaging envelope, and I used some scrap material that was given to me, and I sewed. So there, I've used 2 materials to create my journal. I didn't use glue. You could glue this, but I didn't feel like it needed it. But if I had it like in 2 separate pieces, I probably would have glued it. But since it, was all one big piece of fabric, all right, I like that. So I'm kind of sticking with my neutrals here. Got a little floral theme to it, so not too bad. All right, guys, so come back in the next video where I'll put my signature together and sew that in. All right, guys, I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.